Hello, and thanks for choosing tubrepairstore.com. Here we're going to be doing a brief foam demonstration trying to show you how much foam comes in two cans. Now, we just want you to be careful about not spraying too much foam underneath your tub. That can cause your floor to push up a little bit, or possibly the foam may not set up properly. So you want to be aware of that. Read our cautions, read the instructions, call us if you have any questions. This is the first can of foam. That is normally going to be, if you have a 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch crack, normally one can of foam is going to do just fine. If you've got a larger crack, 2 cans of foam will really cover a lot of area. So we just caution you, take your time on this. Don't spray too much foam under there. If you're unsure about anything, just give us a call. We're here to help. Thanks for choosing tubrepairstore.com.
Still a little soft, still curing. That's 2 hours in. All right, what's up, guys? So that foam demonstration, this is fully cured after 24 hours. Generally, that's about how long it's going to take for it to fully cure. So at this point, we're super happy with how hard it is. This stuff it's going to hold your weight.
All right, guys, this is going to be the full demonstration, and we're also going to talk through how to drill the holes and how to foam it. We really encourage you to listen to all this information. It should help you. If you have any questions, just reach out, give us a call. We're here to help. Thanks.
All right, what's up, guys? Thanks for purchasing our floor crack repair kit. We're going to be talking about this today, and then we're going to go into a hands-on instructional video where I actually walk you through a repair as well. But I want to essentially tell you what you're about to do, and then show you how to do it hands-on, and then we'll be with you every step of the way. You can also call our customer service. You'll talk to me or another tub repair professional that can help walk you through your repair if you're uncertain about anything. Oftentimes we'll have you text us pictures of your repair. We can even FaceTime and see what you're about to get into. So don't be worried about this. This is, it's a project, but you're about to save yourself a lot of money. And we succeed on these all the time. So the biggest thing is to know what you're about to do. So let's get into that. Okay, with the floor crack repair kit, what you're going to do, the initial step that you're going to do is you're going to be drilling holes into your tub floor. And I want to talk to you about a few things. So in your kit, you're going to have 2 cans of foam. Okay, that's going to be more than enough to really fill. Once it expands, it's going to be more than enough to fill out about 18 inches by 18 inches and kind of create a base there. So it's really going to fix a lot of weakness in your tub. So one thing I want to talk about is when you're drilling your holes, there's things you need to feel for. Okay, so I've got a tub here, and what I've got is I've got the tub floor. So this is kind of an expanded version. I've got the tub floor, and then right here I have a support board. So most bathtubs and showers are going to have a support board, which is like a 1/2-inch piece of plywood. A lot of times it's pieced in there together, and then fiberglass to the bottom of the tub. So you want to be aware of that support board. A lot of times there can be a small gap between the shower floor and the support board. I call that shallow layer support in our videos, okay? So you know what I'm talking about. And then down below that will be a bigger gap. A lot of times this is going to be anywhere from like 1, possibly up to 4 inches. Now the deeper the gap is, the harder it's going to be for that foam to fill up. It's going to be a bigger cavity. It's got to expand more, and it's just a harder thing to support. So most times you only have 1 to possibly 4 inches below your tub. As you're drilling your holes, your deep layer support, so you're going to drill all the way to the subfloor. Once you feel that subfloor and you kind of press on it, you'll know you're hitting something solid. You want to check and see how deep that is. If you can't feel the subfloor with your drill bit or the straw on the foam can, if you can't find the subfloor with that, you probably need to stop right there, get something a little longer and try to find that subfloor, a clothes hanger or something like that. That's what we recommend. Even before you purchase the kit, we're going to release some videos and instruct people to do that. But that's what we recommend, is find out how deep you're dealing with. Occasionally, now this is rare, but occasionally that subfloor will be missing. It could possibly be rotted out. If you've let your crack go for a long time and water's just been getting down there, it could be rotted out. Or sometimes on slab homes, if it's near the drain cutout on that concrete slab could actually drop down an additional like 4 to 6 inches. So the gap there would be too big. So in the event, if that ever happens, you can't find the floor, call us. Don't go any farther. If you don't want to do the repair at that point, we'll take the kit back, refund your money, no problem. If you do want to proceed, we can try to help walk you through what would need to be done. And we've done that before, but just give us a call if that happens. So I want to talk about drilling the holes real quick, and you'll see it in the video. It'll make more sense, especially when you see it if we go through this. So let's say we've got about a 4 to 6 inch crack here. So you always drill out the end of each crack. So you want to put a hole there for sure. In this one, I'm putting deep layer support. So these O's are deep layer support, and then the X's are shallow layer support. So what I mean by that is on the O's, I'm drilling all the way to the subfloor, okay? And you find that subfloor, and it's gonna fill this gap and kind of spread out through there. But you also have to feel for the shallow layer support. So these X's are shallow layer support. And essentially you wanna fill that gap too, otherwise your repair is less likely to hold for the long term. So be aware of that, take your time. The key is you're using a 5/16 inch drill bit, and you're just gonna drill your deep layer first, find that subfloor. As you're going through, go slow, don't just pound right through it, but go slow. As you get through the tub floor, you should feel possibly a small drop, maybe a 1/4 inch, and then you'll hit a little bit more resistance, and then that'll be that support board, and then you go through that, you'll feel a larger drop and you'll hit the subfloor. That is generally what happens. So feel for it. Now, a lot of people say, well, my foam didn't come snaking out when I was filling the deep layer support. That's probably going to be true. In the deep layer support, that foam has enough area to spread, and it's not going to shoot back up. Now, on the shallow layer support, it is more likely to shoot back up. Now, when you're pumping your foam, let's say you're pumping deep layer support here and you've got your other holes drilled, watch those other holes. If you start to see that foam going over in that direction, you're probably good. Move over to that one, spray a little bit, and just spread these out. Now it's going to be better, especially if you're working on a small repair. You don't have to use your full can. One full can is going to be about, almost a 8x8, inch, depending on how deep the gap is. Blob of foam, and especially when it expands, it's gonna support about a 8-inch by 8-inch area. So you do not have to use both cans of foam. In fact, if you put too much foam down there, it would take longer for it to set up. One thing you can do is, if you get a lot of foam down there, you don't feel like it's setting up very well, is you can take a space heater in your bathroom and make sure that bathroom's nice and warm. That's gonna, as that foam gets more in a warmer environment, it's going to kind of force it to expand and cure. So if you run into that, be aware that's an option. 2 cans of foam, you should not run the risk of pressing up your tub floor. The one thing I would say is, most tub floors that are fiberglass, they're going to be stiff enough and it's not going to be an issue. If you have a plastic tub floor, and let's say you drill a hole in your crack and there is styrofoam below the tub floor, be careful on those projects, because that styrofoam, it's just going to be hard to get a firm foundation under there, because you have styrofoam under there, and a plastic tub floor is going to be a lot weaker. So be careful putting the foam under there. If you put foam down and it starts to press the floor up, get something heavy, something 50 pounds, a board and like 50 pounds and just set it down on top of there while it cures, and just keep that floor pressed down. So just heads up on that. If you have any questions, just give us a call. We're here to help you. We want to save you money. So that's a quick little demonstration. You will see how we do this in our video. So stay tuned. Give us a call if you have any questions. Thanks. All right, guys, here are the 2 cans of foam that you're going to get. I've already detached the straw. Generally, those will be just taped on the side there. Now I want to show you just kind of how much foam you're going to be getting in here. So when you're doing this, you really want to be between 65 and 80 degrees in your bathroom. Be aware if it's colder outside, maybe you have a crawl space home, it could be colder under your bathtub than it actually is in your bathroom. So putting a space heater in there and kind of warming up the area can help this foam set up. Especially if you get too much foam underneath the tub in the gap and it's constricted, it may take a lot longer to set up. We've had to wait, overnight sometimes to get that foam to set up. We've even had to put space heaters in there, really warm up the bathroom and wait overnight. So if you put too much foam in there, you may be looking at having to do that. But I want to show you, you don't have to use both cans depending on how much space you're trying to do. Our floor crack repair kits, they're going to handle up to about a 9-inch crack, no problem. Possibly a little bit more, but 9 inches is pretty safe bet. So I want to just kind of show you, we're going to spray out a can, show you that. Spray out 2 cans, kind of show you what kind of an area we can cover with it. And then I'll time lapse it and you can kind of see it grow. It about doubles in size. So, if you've got a 3-inch gap under there, it's gonna fill it up. So you just wanna be sure it's firm before you go forward after the foam step. So always shake it up real well, like I said. And then when you're going, you wanna find your subfloor. So this would be like deep layer support here, okay? Find your subfloor, you're gonna do deep layer support first. So then just pull it up a little bit and go ahead. See how it's kind of already just spreading out? So that's great. So I'm gonna go ahead, let's say we have about a 3-inch gap, but if you had a 1-inch gap, that's gonna work because that's gonna get bigger. So I'm gonna go there, spread a little bit more. Going to kind of press up there. Now let's say I've got another hole here. I want to fill this. Okay. So then I've got another hole here. I'm going to fill this. Okay. And then another hole here. I'm going to fill this. Okay. So this is a big repair. Okay. So one can. And you don't need to just pump it. I mean, if you just keep pumping it, it's going to kind of just fill it out there. But if you just do 1 can in one spot, it's going to be hard for that all to expand. So you do want to be aware, space out your can. And then one thing I do recommend, we're about out of this one, we'll go ahead and finish it. One thing I recommend is go ahead and do your deep layer support and then get some in your shallow layer support. I would probably go deep layer support, get that to where it's getting pretty full. And then I would go ahead, when you got about a third of the can left or something, go ahead and hit your shallow layer support and you'll see that spread a lot easier. It's not going to take much foam on your shallow layer support because that's generally only going to be, like I said, 1/4 inch, maybe an 1/8 inch. You do want to fill that gap, but it's not going to take much foam to fill that gap, and you'll see it spread. Once you see it spreading, you're good, you're done. So that's 1 can, okay? So that's a pretty good size area. Now, I'm going to let that set up, but I am going to go ahead and I'll bring this repair over a little bit and show you kind of where we're looking at now. Now, like I said, a lot of times, sometimes people will, they'll shoot like 2 cans like in one hole, and you don't want to do that. Okay, you want to spread it out. You want your deep layer support holes to be, probably 4 inches apart, 4 to 5 inches apart. You know, and if your repair area is right in here and you're not sure you're getting a spot, you know, you can go back and spray more foam or drill in between the holes and get a little bit more down there. You know, you're going to cover it all up anyway with your repair. So if you got to drill holes in between just to make sure you're getting little gaps, like right here could be a little gap. So, you know, I might want to drill a hole down in there, get it down in the deep support, and then, you know, that's good. See, it doesn't take much. And then, you know, you can even go over here, spray it in. See, what I like about our foam is that our foam actually spreads better than any other foam that we found on the market. Most foams, the way they're pressurized or the way they come out, they're going to shoot and they're going to just bubble, like just create a mound. Ours actually spreads, so I love that about our foam. And see, I've got about, you know, 2/3 of a can left. This is really covering a lot of area. Now, if you've got, you know, kind of a deeper gap, you might go back around, make sure you're getting, you know, all of it filled up. And then, you know, the shallower support, you want to get that. But this, you know, I'm essentially just showing you like 2 cans of foam. Okay, and then if you get little drops or something fall on your tub somewhere else, just leave it. This stuff is super sticky, so don't touch it. Just, you know, like that, let it dry, you know, come back in a couple hours. It's going to be expanded, it's going to be hard, it won't be sticky. Just pop it off, it's no problem. So, you know, this kind of gives you an idea. This would be like 2 cans. It's really going to spread a lot. So if you have like a 1-inch gap down there, you're probably not going to need to use the second can. So be aware of that. You know, if you've got a 3-inch drop, you know, in the deep layer support, 2 cans of foam is probably going to be enough, especially if you're dealing with that 9-inch crack or so. You've got three inches down there. You're going to want to do something like this. So you'll have, you know, deep layer support here, deep layer support here, probably a deep layer support there in the middle, and possibly, you know, around it. So just spread them out, spread out your holes. You're going to repair it. It's going to be strong. But you just want to set a solid base like this. So I'm going to time lapse this and just show you how it expands, and then we'll go forward and keep talking about this repair. Okay, so this is 2 cans. It's been 2 hours. So that time lapse you just saw is 2 hours, okay? It's pretty set up, but it's not fully set up. So it should be a lot firmer whenever you go back to work on your project. It should be a lot firmer, but it's not going to be fully cured possibly. So if it's not very firm, if you think it's not setting up very well, you might put a space heater in your bathroom, warm it up. Keep in mind, it can be cooler under your tub, especially if you have a crawl space and it's winter time. But, you know, essentially we're looking at about, you know, 6 inches tall here. So this is going to press it up some, not bulge it up, but it is going to cause some upward pressure. It's also, if you have that tub floor there, it's going to expand a little bit more outward than upward. So this would be a very large, you know, this is every bit of 12 inches of support here. So that's 2 cans of foam. So you don't have to use 2 cans of foam, especially if you're only dealing with about a 1-inch gap down there. Likely 1 can of foam is going to be enough. If you get 2 cans of foam, it can slow down the curing process. So be aware of that. If you have any issues, give us a call. So that is the foam. We really caution you not to, if you're not sure, it's better to break up the foam. So if you aren't sure how much to put in there, start with 1 can, give it a couple hours, see how it feels. If it's still soft, if you still feel like some voids, then do the second can. We really caution you, don't go out and buy more foam and put 4 cans of foam or something underneath your tub at one time. that can be a problem. So don't do that. It's better to do, one can, wait a couple hours, do the second can, wait a couple hours. If you have not got a firm foundation by that second can, give us a call. We'll see. We might be able to help you out somehow. We'll have to look and see what's going on. But, 2 cans, you should be good to go. Just be aware of how much gap you got down there, how much area you're trying to fill. A lot of times 1 can be enough. A lot of tubs don't have that deep gap. So anyway, that's a foaming demonstration. Give us a call if you have any questions. All right, what's up, guys? So that foam demonstration, this is fully cured after 24 hours. Generally, that's about how long it's going to take for it to fully cure. So at this point, we're super happy with how hard it is. This stuff it's going to hold your weight, especially the way tubs are designed, is they're going to have basically a half inch support board fiberglass to the bottom side of your tub, and then you'll have your fiberglass floor of your tub. And that will be setting down on this. So creating even more, spreading out your weight on this foam. And it's going to be a solid support. So just be aware of that. Also be aware of how big this can get. We really recommend start out with 1 can of foam, especially if you're not dealing with a massive crack. Just start out with 1 can of foam. You saw how big it can get and how much it grows. It does not take a lot of foam if you're dealing with like a 3-inch long, 4-inch long crack, and maybe you've got about 2-inch gap down there. That's probably going to only take about 1 can of foam, and you want to spread that out well too. So just be aware of that. If you have any questions, let us know. Also, whenever you're spraying foam into the deep layer support, do not expect it to come popping out of the other holes. Generally, if you see it snaking out in any of our videos, that's going to be in the shallow layer support, because it doesn't have much room at all, and there's a lot of pressure in there. So it does come spreading and snaking out. But in the deep layer support, it's not going to come squirting out like it does on the shallow layer support. So give us a call if you have any questions. Take your time on this. Do it right. Set a firm foundation first, even if it takes you overnight and it takes you two different foamings. Set aside that first day, foam it once, give it a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then go back and foam it again if you have to. But we recommend splitting up those cans. So anyway, good luck. Let us know if you have any questions.